Happy Thursday, July 18th, 2024, Big Orange Nation. This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you, bringing you more baseball coverage, more in-depth, more thorough baseball coverage as this channel only provides. The one I want to get into today, I've seen a lot of projections for next season. Now that we pretty much know, I say pretty much, I think we're about 99% sure what the roster is going to look like in terms of departures to the draft, in terms of who's coming to campus, and so on. And I've got a lot of stuff I'm going to do with this moving forward, and hopefully here, got about 2 more weeks of break left, so I've got to utilize this, and I've got a lot. Sat down last night, and put a lot of content or put a lot of ideas together to provide on baseball, in addition to what I've come across on others, but. What I want to do today, I'm going to do 2 parts. I'm going to do one today. I'm going to go ahead and after this is over and record the second part and release it tomorrow. But I want to do part 1, the fielders. I want to project that 2025 lineup. And I've been looking around at it as far as who's coming in, who's lost, who returns. So I hope you'll bear with me on this one. So I'm going to take a few minutes. So the departures, here's what we know. Here's who is for sure leaving, who was fielders some way, shape, or form this past season. We know Cal Stark has graduated. He's gone. He's yet to sign any kind of an undrafted free agent contract. I'm hoping that we'll see that a team has taken a chance on him. I think you're crazy not to take a chance on, give him a chance. As good of a defensive catcher as he is. We know at first base, Blake Burke, drafted to the Milwaukee Brewers. He will sign, and he'll report to one of their minor league teams at that point. Christian Moore, drafted number 8 by the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He will report to their minor leagues once he signs. Dean Curley, shortstop last year, is back. Got a lot to talk about with him. Billy Amick, drafted 60th by the Minnesota Twins. He will sign with them, report to the minor leagues. Now let's shift to the outfield. Right field was Kavaris Tears, drafted 4th round by the San Diego Padres. He will sign. He will report to the minors. Hunter Ensley, center field. He will be back. He will be the captain of he will be the leader of this team next year. And then left field, Dylan Dreiling, drafted 2nd round by the Texas Rangers. He will sign, report to the minors for them as well. And then your DH kind of shifted between Reese Chapman, Dalton Bargo, and then the last couple games, it was Cannon Peebles. So that is your main guys. Now, as far as departures go, some of your departures to the portal were more guys we didn't see a lot. I mean, we saw a little bit of Camden Bates last year, but he hit the portal. Saw a little bit of him midweek. I think maybe some early weekend along the way as well. That's really kind of the main one I can see off the top of my head. So the returners, I already mentioned Dean Curley, mentioned Hunter Ensley, mentioned Reese Chapman, Dalton Bargo. Of course, Ariel Antigua, I've talked a lot about him on here. Colby Backus is back as well. And then some guys we've not, heard as much about. Holden Bronner, who's playing in Boone of the Coastal Plains League. Jeremy Comer, playing in the North Woods League. Blake Grimmer, was an infielder last year playing in the North Woods League. Cole Eaton, outfielder playing in the California League. Trying to find Stone Lawless playing in the Appalachian League for the Kingsport Axemen right now. Now, I don't have a lot of stats. I have some that I come up with. I mainly looked at the COD League and the California League a little bit here. And, I'll hit that. That's another subject for another time. But Hunter High is another guy. I don't have him listed for summer ball, but he is a guy the staff's high on. Alex Perry is another guy that I heard Tony Vitello mention numerous times last year, who returns. And then, who do you add? I'm probably forgetting somebody on here, like a Braden Sharp. Is he a pitcher? Is he an outfielder? I think based on what I've seen, he'll be a pitcher, but he is listed outfielder / left-handed pitcher. Now, like I said, I've got a lot of ways I can go with this, and one of them is the high school ranks. This number 1 ranked recruiting class coming in, Tony Vitello's top class since he's been in Knoxville. And, there is just so much talent coming in on here. And, the same guys by the same outlets are getting talked about. It's always and this is no disrespect. It's always Levi Clark, Ty Southasine, who is going to sign with the Chicago Cubs, drafted round 4. Trey Snyder was drafted round 5 by the Mets. Those two guys will not make it to campus. You have Jay Abernathy, shortstop from North Cobb in Georgia, he's coming to campus. Like I said, Levi Clark, catcher, Marietta, Georgia, will make it to campus. Manuel Marin, Hialeah, Florida, shortstop. Those guys got all the attention. I think there's a guy not getting enough attention here. He's a local dude, too. He's ranked 94th, and you rarely hear him mentioned by any of these sites who cover Tennessee baseball, want to talk a little bit of recruiting. Jackson Walker, outfielder, Loudon. He's got some pretty good highlights. I was watching some stuff on him earlier from one of the showcase I was watching, because they'll have him get out in right field and throw. He's a left-handed hitter, left-handed thrower. From what I saw, looks like he has a good arm. Has a good arm from that right field. Now, he's listed as an outfielder, projects, I think, more as a center fielder. But here's the thing with him coming in. He's 19 years old. If everything goes, if you get a Dylan Dreiling type situation, you've got him for 2 years. I'm gonna come back to him, but there was one video that was pretty wild. It was from, a lot of these teams before the season will do a so many innings, like a fundraiser. And at Loudon, they did a 50-inning scrimmage. And there's a video of him doing like a Happy Gilmore. They were just pitching, throwing it off the machine. He told the catcher to back up. The pitch come in. He takes the little run and freaking jacks it. Looks like almost dead center field. That's pretty freaking impressive, man. That's impressive. And just some highlights. The dude has some power. And on his scouting report, it talks about how in 2023, his power went up. Well, looking at some of his highlights from 2024, the power's still there. I think the one site I run across said he had 9 home runs this year. I don't know if that's totally accurate, because there's a lot of different sites, and all of them's behind a freaking paywall about it. So you know what little bit you get. Like I said, I use Super Chat, Super Thanks Money to help provide better coverage. Perfect Game example of that, trying to provide you that better coverage, getting scouting reports, things for recruiting guys coming to campus here as well. So you've got him, Jackson Walker, coming in. Some others that are not as mentioned as much. Like I said, the ones I mentioned earlier, that's the ones getting all the fanfare. That was the ones projected going to the draft. I seen some people, I don't remember if it's VolQuest or 24/7, asking about Walker. And to me, he's ranked 94th nationally. If you compare that, and I want to focus on, you compare that back to, and I can't wait to do this video later. I'll probably record it today, and I don't know when I'll release it yet, but I'm going to compare this signing class with Tony Vitello's pre. I may have said that already, but I think you're going to be just surprised when you put it into numbers, what it looks like. Like last year, Tennessee's top ranked guy, according to Perfect Game, was Matthew Dallas at 97. At 97, the top guy in it. Okay, Dean Curley ranked 129. Ariel Antigua, 137. Cole Eaton, the guy I mentioned earlier, 121. Blake Grimmer, 148. I've mentioned Stone Lawless, ranked 244. Trying to see if there's any guys here. I've mentioned Hunter High. He was in that. When you get to 500, they just rank them at 500 and down. They don't put them, based on what I see in, 500 to 1,000 or anything like that. So keep that in mind. The top guy last year, number 97, Matthew Dallas. That was from 2023. Top fielder, Cole Eaton, 121. I'm going to go to 2022 here. Hunter Sloop, pitcher, Concord, North Carolina, P27 Academy. Was ranked 75th coming out. He's still yet to make a difference. I saw him pitch last week, had a little bit of a rough outing for Greenville at Johnson City, but guys I talked to up there said, he's got good stuff, just a little bit of an outing. Alex Stanwich was the top position guy who there were some issues. He ended up transferring out. I don't know all the issues behind that, but he was ranked 127. Reese Chapman was 175. Dylan Orr, right-handed pitcher. I actually don't think Dylan Orr is still with the team here. He was ranked 172. So Sloop, 75. I'll go back just for the sake of 2021 and just for comparison's sake. 2021 was Brady House, was ranked number 1, did not make campus. Chase Burnzo was ranked 17th overall. We know about that. Ryan Spikes was 89th. Ended up drafted 3rd round by Tampa Bay, did not make the campus. Christian Moore was 91st. And then you go down the line here. I'm looking at Blake Burke was 390. Kavar Steers 420. That's all I had on those guys. I'm trying to see where Dreiling is at. Dreiling should have been, he was 293 coming in. All right, so you take these ranks and what Tennessee did with these players. Okay, let's fast forward now back to 2024. Levi Clark, 36th. Arnold Abernathy, Jay Abernathy, 61st. Manuel Marin, 88th. Jackson Walker, 94th. And this guy, like I said, I don't think he's getting enough mention. Chris Newstrom, 118. Now, I'm just going by position. I'm focused on position guys coming to campus. Brennan Siegler, outfielder, Farragut, 311. Brooks Wright, catcher, Bearden, 341. Robinson Martin, shortstop, 471 out of Memphis. Bo Revord, outfielder, Jefferson City, 493. The rest of your guys mentioned here, Jackson Jones, Dane Morrow, Ethan Wagner. Of course, Ethan Wagner will sign with the Astros, but Jones, Morrow, they're in that 500 where they stop there. That just tells you the talent coming in compared to, at least rankings-wise, from years past. So now let's get into this lineup. Let's get into where I think it's going to go. People, feel free to disagree with me all you want to. I'm going on based on what I've seen, what I know on this, and I'm making an educated guess. There's a couple positions that I think there's question marks that we don't know for sure, and I think there's some opportunity there for guys, all right? So here's who's coming in. I just mentioned the high school guys coming in. Now we know with Portal. We know fielding-wise. We know Gavin Keelan is coming in, infielder. We know Andrew Fisher, infielder, Ole Miss, coming in. Trying to think who. I know Tanner Franklin, Liam Doyle, pitchers. You had Redachik from Niagara, who will sign with the Marlins. And that's what I've told you the whole time. I said it was a very low possibility he made it to campus. I know some guys that cover it tried to paint it that it was more likely he wouldn't. A guy in that situation, when you put up that kind of numbers, you're playing in a summer league, putting up good numbers, your stock goes up. A team's going to take a chance on you later on. Him at 23 years old, to me, there was never a doubt that he would go to the majors. And it's even a possibility he would have went as an undrafted free agent if he would have gotten an opportunity. The fact that he was drafted solidified it for him. Congrats to him. Best of luck to him as well as we go forward. But here's my lineup. Here's where I'm going with it. I'm going to go with the safe and sure, and then I'm going to look at possibilities. All right, I'm going to look position-wise. I'm going to start catcher. I'm going Cannon Peebles will catch. I'm going to say he's going to be the main guy here. Now, I was looking at his Cape Cod stats. He's bounced around to 2 teams in the Cape Cod. I don't know if that's the norm or not. For the first team, Cotuit, he hit 167. Now for Hyannis, he's hitting 222. Not great numbers up there, but best of the best competition, or very good competition. Let's put it that way. There's some good competition down the Appalachian League as well. Cannon Peebles at catcher. I'm going to come back to first base because I've got a couple of theories on this one. Second base. And I'm going to explain this one thoroughly. I'm writing them down as I do it, too. I've not written them down before because I've got it pretty much memorized. Second base will be Gavin Keelan. And here's why. I know he's coming in, played some shortstop at Louisville. He's coming in with the intention to be the shortstop. There's one problem, though. And this is nothing against him. This is not his ability. The best shortstop on that campus is going to be a guy by the name of Ariel Antigua. If Ariel Antigua hits in the Appalachian League, he's hitting over 300 right now in a wooden bat league against good competition from numerous schools around the country. There is not going to be a better fielding shortstop on Tennessee's roster than Ariel Antigua. I'll take that to the bank. I've seen the guy play. Saw we got a taste of it this past season in the Times. And then, I can't go on about this play enough. In Game 3 of the championship series, that play that Ariel Antigua made in the 8th inning where he slid in the hole, he knocked the ball down, he didn't get the guy at first, he made it semi-close. He kept that guy at second base from moving up, because if that would have been a base hit, Dylan Dreiling does not have the strongest arm that there ever was. There is a possibility if that gets through, that dude scores, and that's a different ball game in the 9th inning. The fact that he kept that runner there That runner did not score. That was a huge underrated play in that baseball game that helped enable winning that national championship. I saw Antigua play last Thursday in Johnson City. Some of the plays he made, man, in the hole, up the middle, running in on the balls, this range and arm are not a problem. This dude is the man at shortstop. That's no slight against Gavin Keelan. It's no slight against Dean Curley. It's no slight against Jay Abernathy. It's no slight. I've not seen these high school guys coming in, all right? So based on, like I said, what I know, I know Abernathy's supposed to be a speedster. That would tell me he could probably cover some ground pretty well at shortstop also. But with the amount of shortstops coming in, somebody's going to have to move, all right? You recruit those shortstops because they're normally your best athletes on the team. Your shortstops, your center fielders, sometimes your catchers. I don't know. Catchers are becoming, to me, it seems like starting to become better athletes than maybe they used to be. Ariel Antigua, shortstop. If he doesn't hit, that's another thing. And that changed my mind. The third base is going to be interesting to me. I would say Dean Curley, all right? But here's the thing why I say back to first base. Dean Curley did play some first base for Team USA this summer. Dean Curley has the build. He can play anywhere. He can play anywhere on the infield. He can play anywhere in the outfield is what I gather out of it. This will be Dean Curley's last year in Knoxville, I'm pretty sure, because he'll be draft eligible next year, and he'll be good enough to go. I'm going to say Curley at third with an asterisk because I could see it where he shifts to first base. I've seen it mentioned, and some shoot it down. No, he won't play first. I wouldn't discount it. I don't know that it's likely, to be honest with you, but I'm not ruling it out either. A wild card here, he's going to play somewhere, is Andrew Fisher, the transfer from Ole Miss, Fischer. Fisher. He will play. He played third base at Ole Miss. Defense was a little questionable, a little iffy. The bat is not. And here's a question I have on Gavin Keelan. All right, he did it in the ACC. He's not faced SEC pitching. He's coming in first round pick next year. We heard the same out of Maui Ahuna. Billy Amick come in second round pick. Billy Amick hit over 400 at Clemson. He hit just over 300 in Knoxville. Average went down about 100, playing in a better league, better competition. Now, he was hurt for a point in time, and I think that really affected him when he had that appendix issue. So, that had to made some kind of a difference there. What does Keelan do? He's supposedly a guy who doesn't strike out. I was looking at his Cape Cod stats. He's on a strikeout spree the last week or so. So, it's one thing to do it in ACC. I say the ACC is the second best conference in college baseball, but there is a big difference between the SEC and the ACC on it. Keelan, to me, again, you're going to have to come in and prove you're better than Ariel Antigua at shortstop. Curley third. I'm going to go there. First base, I'm going to say Dalton Bargo. I'm going to say Dalton Bargo first base. That's where I'm going with this one. Even though Bargo's 206, a home run, 5 RBIs in Cape Cod right now. Average not up there either. He, Chapman, Peebles, all those guys inconsistent. What steps do they make for next year? We know some guys will make some steps. For sure. So right now I'm going Peebles, Bargo, Keelan, Antigua at short, Curley at third. I'm putting asterisks on Bargo and Curley because I could see Curley at third. I could possibly see him at first. I could see him in the outfield. So we're going to say Curley third. I think the least percentage chance is first base with Curley. I think there's a very high percentage he's the third baseman next year. His build and all reminds me a lot of Alex Rodriguez. A lot of his build reminds me of A-Rod. I don't know if he dopes like A-Rod or not, but still yet. He reminds me a lot of him as far as his build. A-Rod was a shortstop, went to the Yankees, third base. He's good enough athlete. He could probably played the outfield as well. Great athlete. A guy that, to me, really did not need to do what he did. But like I said, Bargo at first, but I could also see Andrew Fisher. Andrew Fisher could possibly be third as well, Do they possibly, Amick played it this year. Amick was not perfect. He did decent over there. But I'm going to say Fisher DHs with the possible. But you're going to see so many different lineups to start the season with Tony Vitello. We saw it this year. You're going to see it next year. It'll be probably around SEC play before they really set into a lineup. For sure, this is the most for sure guy on the team. Hunter Ensley is your center fielder. We know that without a doubt. Right field, I'm going Reese Chapman. Left field, out of the gate, I'm going to go Colby Backus. I'm going to go Colby Backus, and then DH, I'm going Andrew Fisher, not Evan Fisher. I'm sorry. So then I'm going Fisher. All right. So here's my wild cards. And then if I put that lineup together, 1 through 9, I'm going Keelan leads off, Curley second. I'm going to say, especially since I like to go lefty-righty, I'm going Fisher hits third. I'm going to go – this is where it gets a little interesting to me. I'm going to go Ensley fourth, Chapman fifth, Backus sixth, Bargo seventh, Peebles eighth, and Tigua ninth. That's where I'm going with that lineup. All right. Now, with all that said, and where I come in next, I go, here's the guys I'm looking at to potentially change things here for me. Your transfer guys, I've got them in the lineup. Fisher, Keelan, Givens, absolute Givens. It's just a matter of where they play. I'm going Fisher DH, but Fisher can also play third. My opinion, if you can play third, you can play first. I think they're interchangeable positions. There's a lot of similarities, different sides of the field, but you're doing a lot of similar things. Now, you got to be able to scoop. But I can tell you right now, if it's anything like where I coached back in 2023, all your infielders are working on being able to scoop the ball at different bases and different times. All right, there shouldn't be a guy who plays infield who cannot scoop a baseball at this point in time. I think Backus is an asterisk. I'm going with him because I think he has the ability to do it. Chapman, the last I'd seen, was doing pretty good in Cape Cod League. I didn't actually fully look him up, and I meant to. Last I'd seen, he was doing pretty well. Here are the guys, though, getting around to that I think are being underlooked. First one, I talked about him already, outfield, Jackson Walker. Left-handed hitter. You get into a weight program in Knoxville, what's going to happen? You're going to get stronger. You're going to get bigger. You're going to get faster. Left-handed hitters in Knoxville, short porch. 19 years old. He's a little bit older coming in. I would watch out for this guy to factor in and be a key factor next season. All right? Stone Lawless, catcher, and Levi Clark. If Cannon Peebles is not on it, he's got guys behind him that will pass him up. Levi Clark, 35th overall. Stone Lawless, talked about him. He was ranked in the top 300 2 seasons ago in that recruiting class. They're high on both guys. Lawless, obviously, is going to have a year on Clark, being in a strength and conditioning program. He's playing summer ball right now in the Appalachian League, so he knows the expectations. Charlie Taylor will be back as well. Charlie Taylor, we know what his role is at this point. Great guy to have on your team. I just don't see him coming up taking. He'll play some. He'll play some games. Don't get me wrong. There'll be some times, and heck of a catcher. The guy's a great catcher as far as catcher. Same, the hitting is the question with Charlie Taylor. He can catch, a very good catcher. Peebles, if Peebles does not take that step, one of these young guys will take his spot next season. First base, you need to watch out for Blake Grimmer. He came in as a shortstop. He's playing some first base. That's a position he could possibly look at. Of course, I mentioned Bargo playing first. Can Andrew Fisher or Dean Curley play first? I think that bears watching. All right. I mentioned Jackson Walker for the outfield. Who's to say Brendan Siegler here from Farragut, Knoxville? Who's to say him? Look at him. 3'11" overall, right-hander, good size, 6'2", 210. Natural handle for the barrel, consistently squares it up. He's a guy, he'll have 3 years at least on here. He was under 19 coming into the draft. So that's a little bit of what they've got on Perfect Game. Good size guy. Where could he factor in? I mean, this is right in line with a lot of your dudes who just set, Christian Moore was top 100, but a lot of your guys who were just big parts of that team were around where Sigler was at. Does a Jay Abernathy come in? Where does he come in and fit? Does Emmanuel Marin, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it. Does he factor in the infield? That infield, man, if some of these freshmen come in as advertised, that could change things a lot. That could change things a lot. That may push a Bargo or somebody out if they're not hitting the ball. If these freshmen are coming and fielding it and they can hit, Ariel Antigua can play third. He's been playing he played shortstop the night I saw him. He can play some third base as well. So right now, this is just a rough draft for me for 2025. People's catcher, Bargo first, Gavin Keelan second, Ariel Antigua short, Curley third, Chapman right, Inslee center, Backus left field, Andrew Fisher DH. Totally rough draft. I think one of these talented guys coming in, though, like I said, Abernathy, Marin, Clark, Walker, Sigler, who was the other shortstop I just missed here? It was Chris Newstrom. Some of these guys coming in, all pretty good sized dudes coming in. These returners, especially these guys who are inconsistent next year, if they don't gain some consistency, there is talent coming in like has not come in during this Tony Vitello era, and we'll put them on the bench. Either way you look at this, I've said it before. I've said it numerous times. I think this lineup will be better than 2023. I think it'll be a step behind 2022, if not a couple steps behind 2022, and I think it'll be a ways away from 2024. That was that 2024 was the greatest lineup possibly in NCAA history. Anybody saying the one next year is going to be better, you're crazy. I'm just going to tell you off the top of your head, you're unrealistic and you're being crazy. It's if they do great, I'll happily come on here and eat crow. But so that's what I've got. That's what we're looking at for next year. Pretty solid lineup, but there's enough inconsistent guys where I would watch out. This fall, man, is going to be exciting to watch. Tomorrow, I'm going to release the pitchers. I'm going to talk mock rotation for next year, the lineup. And then what I'm excited about doing, I'm going to take every single incoming freshman, and I'm going to do an individual preview on them. I'm going to start that. Membership tiers will start. I'm hoping to have that going tomorrow. Membership, Patreon going. I'm going to try to record a bunch of these on the incoming freshmen at once. With membership, you'll get early access to all of them. Otherwise, I'll release them, a little bit at a time on that. Looking at perks to have. I'm hoping in a not so distant future that I can make some contacts and get some guys on here to talk some baseball, talk, football or what have you. Get some guests on here to kind of mix it up a little bit as well. But that's where I'm going with this one. Got a lot more content. I got a ton of stuff on here. Like I said, I made a ton of notes just on baseball last night, and I've got stuff with football. And we'll start football previews for fall. We'll look at early expectations for basketball, for women's basketball, and then once I get my membership stuff set up, and I'll release a short video just kind of detail what you can get with memberships, how you can help support the channel and be a part of it. We'll do some cool things with that as well. But this is your place for Tennessee baseball. Most detailed, most in-depth that there is on here. Second to none on it. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. If you like the content, hit the thumbs up. If you know of anybody who has not checked it out, who has not run across it, make sure you share this stuff out. Get it out there. People have a lot of questions about Tennessee baseball recruiting and stuff. Lead them to this place. This is the place to it. I can't just go post my stuff on certain websites. It's not ethical to do it. I can share it out as much as I can on social media, but I'm not going to be unethical about it either. And then if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Lots of good stuff coming on here. This thing's just getting started. Sky is the limit. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a great rest of your day. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.